Hi, my name is Donna Wallace, and I am conducting the second role play in our series for human sexuality at Laterno University. And I am happy to welcome Emily back. She still has chosen not to be on camera, and I'm respecting that. But we will be able to share and interact together with her concerns about her body image. So Emily, thanks so much for coming back. I really appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm going to need you to come in a little bit closer so we can get you on the mic and maybe speak a little bit louder than the last time, because when I played it back it was difficult to hear your responses, and they're very important to our role play. Okay. So the last time we talked, we just reviewed some of the basics of what body image is, and I sent you home with an exercise to do. You might call it the silhouette exercise or the mirror exercise, where you were unclothed in front of a mirror,
Mm-hmm.
and you were looking at your body and learning how to recognize things that maybe try to look at it differently, recognize things that you really do like about your body. And I'm just wondering if you could tell me a little bit about that.
I like my neck.
Okay.
I like my collarbones. I like the way they kind of not stick out, but you can see them.
Okay.
And my stomach's alright.
All right. And then what about below the waist?
Yeah.
You don't like that part?
No.
Any of it at all? Can you name something that you like?
My butt's alright, but I've always been rather self-conscious about my calves.
Your calves. Okay. What about your thighs?
They're alright, but I don't wear shorts.
Okay. Well, you're a tiny young woman. You're about, what, a size 3?
Yeah,
3,
something like
4
that.
maybe?
Yeah.
No bigger than that. But, it's something to think about what you're perceiving as you look at yourself and your true size, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel, what is it about your thighs and calves that you feel are not the way you want them to be?
I always feel like they need to be more toned, or I'm really self-conscious about the fact that I'm so pale. And
Okay.
I'm so pale that I can see my veins through my skin.
Okay.
But I also don't really want to go to a tanning bed because, after a couple times you start looking like a leather couch, and it makes you,
Mm-hmm.
orange. And I've tried all the self-tanners, and I just turn orange. And
Mm-hmm.
if I do try to tan, then I burn, and I just get whiter. So
Tell me about this exercise and what your reactions and responses were to the neck up.
I like my hair.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. That's pretty much it.
Okay. What is it that you don't like from the neck up?
I don't like my baby face. People always think I look younger than I actually am.
She'll like that when she's 60, roughly, right? Okay.
When I'm older, but right now it just I don't like people thinking that I'm 16 when I'm almost 10 years older than that. It'd be great 30 and up, but right now it's just kind of frustrating.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And then what about the back side of you? Did you have a chance to take a look there? I know you mentioned your rear.
Yeah, my butt's alright, but
Shoulders, back.
yeah, my shoulders are alright, but I don't pay attention to that much because I don't,
Mm-hmm. What about your hands? You're an artist. What about your hands? They're very important to you.
I never really thought about my hands, unless I was a hand model or something,
Have you thought about your teeth?
Yeah, I like my teeth. I like my teeth.
Well, you have a beautiful smile.
Thank you.
Beautiful, beautiful smile. What about your feet?
I never really had an issue with my feet except that they're just white and veiny. That's pretty much it.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate your feedback on that.
Yeah.
Did you think that exercise was helpful at all? Did it help you maybe think about particular areas or particular aspects of your body, not just your whole body, but particular aspects that you aren't comfortable with?
I don't know, just if I do have to pass by a mirror naked, I usually try to make it quick. It's kind of hard for me to just stand there and pick out things.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you doing that.
Mhm.
We'll talk about that more later and maybe even do it later down the road, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to share with you too, Emily, that as far as the development of our body image, there are 4 aspects. There's the physical, the psychological, the social aspect of self. In other words, those dynamics contribute to our body image, our self-image. Then there's changes over time. For instance, if you've had any kind of significant changes to your body over time, a lot of women who have gone through pregnancy or surgery or even a disabling event, those types of things would be changes over time, and that impacts your body image.
Mm-hmm.
And then body image, a third aspect to the development of our body image is what we learn. And that's important to recognize too, because it can be learned and it's a negative image, it can be unlearned, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And then also another aspect to be aware of is that our body image is developed both consciously and unconsciously. So there may be reasons that we could look at if you're not able to really identify the conscious part of why you believe certain things about yourself. We could talk about maybe some ways that unconsciously those thoughts and attitudes and opinions of yourself became a part of your thinking. Okay? Now I want you to also think about this. Body image. What do you think body image is?
How you perceive yourself.
Very good, very good. So it's how we perceive ourselves. But what we end up doing is we think that everyone else also thinks the same way that we do.
Mm-hmm.
And therein lies a really important distinction, because body image is the picture of our own body which we form. And again, it could be consciously, unconsciously.
Mm-hmm.
It's the picture of our own body which we form in our mind, the way in which the body appears to us. And it's important because that doesn't mean it appears that way to everyone else, although we tell ourselves, if I see it this way, then everyone else must be seeing it that way. Is that the way you feel?
Yeah.
Okay.
More often than not, yeah. And I try to remember that, but it's clouded by everything that I see. So it's kind of hard to keep that in mind.
It is absolutely right. And that's why you're here, and that's why we can explore those things and give you some tools and just a whole process to work through some of those lies that we've told ourselves. What about your family? How was approval in your family? How was that for you when you were growing up?
I never lacked approval from my mom, but I never really heard from my dad, oh, you look nice, or oh, you look pretty, or stuff like that. Sometimes I'd ask him, and he'd say yeah, but he'd never really expound on it. He just yeah.
Or be the proactive one to tell you that
Right.
you felt like you had to ask and seek it.
Right.
Okay. Well, the aspects of our family social dynamic definitely makes a difference in our self-image. And so if you felt like there was the significant male in your life that wasn't telling you and giving you that stamp of approval that you needed as a female, that definitely makes you more vulnerable.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. How is he now that you're older?
I stopped asking, do I look nice and stuff like that, but I think we have a better relationship than we used to. We talk more on a regular basis, rather than just every once in a while. So I think that's helped.
And your discussions are probably more on an intellectual
Right.
level rather than...
Yeah, it's hard for him to access emotions. He's never been particularly emotional or talking about emotional things. If he starts to talk about emotional things, then usually it's like, gotta go.
Yeah.
So he never really gets past a certain point. So
But you recognize that.
yeah.
And kudos to you for recognizing that, because that's an important part of your being able to relate to him and understand that it's not about you. The reason he closes off when we talk about certain types of subjects, but it is about him. And so that's really important. Now, what about talking about boyfriends or things like that?
We discussed my ex-fiance, like a couple months after he and I had broken the engagement off, or after I had broken the engagement off with him. My dad and I discussed it, and we talked about that for a while, and that was actually really amazing because he actually talked to me about it. He didn't close off and go. He did start getting a little weepy, and then he did have to go. He was really busy all of a sudden.
What does that mean to you when you saw that he got weepy?
It felt good. I felt like I had reached a new level with him of communication.
Great. And then what about spiritual discussions? Do you ever have occasion to have those with your dad?
Oh yeah. More often than emotional conversations.
Well, from what you've said earlier, that seems to be a really strong connection between the two of you.
Yeah.
And one that you can certainly use to segue into other areas and also into just a deeper connection with him.
Yeah.
And sensing that approval, and maybe that might help him to open up to you a little bit more. Well, we've come to the end of our time. I want to give you what we're going to work on. We're going to do I want to do a body image assessment.
Okay.
And a self-compassion scale, because the body image assessment is going to help you understand in a qualitative way the quality of your opinion about yourself. And then the self-compassion scale is also going to let you know to what degree you love yourself. And that's really, really important. And then what I'd like for you to do as we continue to see each other is I want you to learn how body image is formulated. We'll dive into that more.
Okay.
I want you to think about this, and I want you to write your own definition of beauty. Okay?
Okay.
And then the final thing is, and this may come as a surprise, I want you to have some fun with this too, is I want you to take a dance class of your choice.
Okay.
Salsa, ballroom, hip-hop, whatever you want.
I always thought taking salsa would be fun.
It would be fun, and that's a very sensual dance, and so I think that's very, very appropriate for what you're going to be dealing with. The reason I want to do that is because studies have shown that dance therapy does improve self-body image in obese patients.
Okay.
So it can certainly, I would think, transfer to those who have lower self-esteem and body image issues. So those are the things we're going to work on.
Okay.
You've got your homework assignments, and we'll see you again.
All right. Thank you.
I really appreciate it. Thanks so much.